Nutrition or exercise? If you had to choose only one, you could only do one, which is going to make the most impact on your health? The food you eat or the exercise you do? And I'm not just saying looking good, fitting in your clothes. That's important. I know, I get it. I mean health. I mean, and not just an absence of disease, diabetes and cancer and all the diseases that unfortunately so many people and too many young people are getting that are completely avoidable. But that's a whole other podcast. I'll give you a second. Which one? Nutrition or exercise? If you had to choose the biggest impact in the least amount of time, or the most immediate, I should say. If you said exercise, I disagree with you. It's nutrition. It's nutrition. And not just because I'm a nutritionist. I also have a master's of science degree in physical therapy. We became experts on how to exercise the human body, especially when it was in an accident or a trauma or coming back from something really, really, traumatic. Exercise, don't get me wrong. Exercise is incredible. It has changed my life. But nutrition, if you and I today, only thing we did was focus on the food that we were going to eat and what we were going to drink. And if you just follow certain principles, and they're not complicated, they're not hard, you and I would look and feel, I say amazing. And some people are like, oh, I don't know about amazing, Peter. I'm like way past amazing. All right, look and feel great, whatever works for you. I know this. I'm so passionate about it because almost 34 years ago, can't believe it's that long. I'm going to show you a picture in a second to support what I'm saying. Almost 34 years ago, I was 60 pounds heavier. So sometimes people, I don't know if you know me through my social media, or if you're a friend of mine, or if you've been to one of my seminars. My former mother-in-law says I'm pleasant looking. I'm 6'4". I take care of myself, but people just come to the conclusion, some people, and they've told me this, well, you just have great genetics. What do you know about struggling with being overweight and stress? And you have a perfect life. Look at you. Okay, I'll take the compliment. Somewhere there's a compliment in there, and I'll take the compliment. But let me show you this picture. I'm going to share my screen. So in that picture of the three gentlemen sitting there, this was 34 years ago. Which one am I? Could you even tell? I even find it hard to believe. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but all the way to the right in the patterned sweater. That sweater was, I don't know, people told me it was pretty cool in, what was it, 1990, 1989? That was me, all the way to the right, 60 pounds heavier. So I don't know if you met me back then, would you say I had perfect genetics? I mean, we all have the potential to look and feel amazing and to be better than what we are today. And if you already look amazing, good for you. You're ahead of the game. But that's not how most of us are, right? And that was me 30 something years ago. So the first thing I focused on was nutrition because I was overeating. I don't know if you've read my memoir excerpts, or know anything about me. When I was 16, my father decided he couldn't live in this world anymore. Okay. It was a real public, the way he did it was very public. And it's a long story. It's too long to get into here. But it affected me, and I didn't know that, and my family didn't know that. My mother was an immigrant from Greece. She didn't know about psychology and trauma and working through this stuff. And back then, truthfully, I, I don't know that it was focused on as much. You kind of just, brushed yourself or dusted yourself off and got back on. And that's what I did. I got a football scholarship. I went to Rutgers. I ate like a gavone, and I put on 60 pounds. I was depressed. I hated my life. And I remember the day I decided to quit football. I walked away from my football scholarship, even though my family when we were growing up, we were on food stamps. We couldn't afford college. I only went to college because I had a scholarship, and I walked away from it. That's how depressed I was. And I said to my mom, I just can't do this. She goes, and, I love my mom. God bless her, all 4'9" of her. She said, okay, you could quit your scholarship, but promise me you'll take some classes. You'll stay in school somehow. You have to get an education. You have to be better than me. But that's a whole other story. So the first thing I did was focus on nutrition. And first thing I did was focus on how much, right? If you've heard my nutrition seminars before, or you've done my programs, it's quantity first. How much? Every single diet, I don't care which one it is. Every time a fad diet comes out, people tell me, "Hey, Peter, what about this? What about, extra carbs, no carbs, high protein, no protein, fruit, no fruit, starvation, whatever." Every single diet has one thing in common that makes people lose weight, and that is it's calorie deficit. Every single diet makes you eat less. You're going to lose weight. It's just not sustainable the way most diets do it because it's a severe deprivation of calories. It's not enough to sustain a healthy body. And it's just psychologically, people are not prepared for it. Okay. So I started with how much, and I'll just give you the tidbits here. 1,800 calories a day for me. For my female clients, less than 1,500, and they get crazy when I say that. Are you out of your mind? That's not enough food. It's enough food. Trust me. I'm 6'4". I'm active. I work out 5 times a week. I do Spartan and Tough Mudder races. It's enough food. We're eating way, way too much. And that's not a judgment. That's just an observation. So I started with how much. And then I started digging deeper because I lost the weight. But guess what? I was still depressed. I was still angry. I was still tired. I still wasn't sleeping well. I still had foggy brain. All the symptoms of not eating the right foods because I was eating it was the 90s. I was eating fat-free, like artificial stuff, right? There's so much of that stuff today. So I started looking at the quality. So I got the quantity. I controlled how much calories, and now I controlled the type of calories. And that's what I share during my presentations, and that's what I share one-on-one coaching. That if you do nothing else, I've had clients lose 100 pounds and never exercise a step, just focusing on nutrition. That's how powerful it is. Okay, so I said that now, nutrition, right? So let me show you some pictures. These are recent pictures, and thanks for indulging me because I want to show you this and not to brag, but to just demonstrate what's possible. Okay, so if you could see this, this is me at a triathlon recently, a couple of weeks ago. Not a triathlon. I used to do triathlons, a Spartan race. If you know, it's 5 kilometers, 20 obstacles, pretty tough. And I'm 54 years old and I did it and I felt so good. Believe me, I was huffing and puffing and struggling over some of the obstacles. But the fact that I did it and at the end, I was tired, but I felt good. In fact, the next day, my girlfriend and I went for a hike and I was ready to go. And Monday, I came home. This race was away and I did a race. I mean, I didn't do a race. I did another workout, more sprints, more hill work because I wanted to be in better shape for the next one. And let me just show you one more picture. This one I really love because this just shows, and it disappeared. Okay, anyway, maybe I'll show you some other time. Let me get back to this, stop sharing. Okay, so the reason I show those pictures is not to brag, is just to state facts. I'm 54 years old. I'm doing these races that are really, I'm one of the oldest dudes out there. There were some 60-year-olds, maybe even 70s and 80s, right? That's awesome. I hope that's me. But it's mostly a younger folks kind of a race because it's not my genetics that makes me look and feel a certain way. It's the foods that I eat. It's how much food, it's the quality of food, and it's how I train. I train 20 minutes 5 times a week, whole body circuit, simple, simple. I show my clients that as well. You don't have to kill yourself unless you want to. If you love killing yourself with exercise, then have at it. Go ahead. But you don't have to. If you're limited with time, there's so many simple strategies with exercise, like training in a circuit, using your whole body, each exercise, targeting the major muscle groups of your body. Examples are working in diagonals, pushing and pulling, squatting and lunging. Those are the basic human movements. If you train your body that way, it will build muscle. And you've heard me say this a million times if you followed me. If So we looked at nutrition and exercise, nutrition first, but now we're talking about exercise because it's so important for so many things psychologically, right? The benefits. If you were looking at cardio versus resistance, cardio is jogging, swimming, getting your heart rate up, elevated heart rate for a sustained period of time. And resistance training is weights, right? You could go to the gym and use machines, you could move dumbbells. Which one has the most benefit for the time that's put in? Resistance training or cardiovascular? Resistance training, building muscle is so incredibly helpful for your body. If you are not building muscle, I don't care if you're 95 or if you're 15, if you're not building muscle, you're missing one of the fountains of youth. It's literally a fountain of youth because when you and I have more muscle, automatically our metabolism ramps up because it takes the body a lot of energy to maintain muscle. And if you eat great, the way I show my clients and my audiences, then you're making sure you're getting the right nutrients, especially the proteins, and you're getting everything that you need to build that muscle to sustain, be ready for that next workout. So build muscle. It protects you. It increases confidence. It increases strength. There's so many benefits. And if you do it in a circuit, if you do resistance in a circuit, and that just means I'm going to go from squats to rows with the bands to bicep curls, you just go from one exercise to another without a break. I do that for 5 minutes and I repeat that 4 times. That's a 20-minute workout, right? Super simple. You're going to get your heart elevated. You're going to get a cardiovascular benefit. When I did my Spartan race, remember, it's 5 kilometers. That's 3.2 miles or something like that. I didn't run. I didn't train in any running. I just did some sprints and I did some hill repeats, but I didn't do long jogs. And I felt good because those short bursts of that circuit I'm telling you about gets your heart rate elevated. It gets your body used to getting your heart rate up and then getting it back down, getting your heart rate up, getting it back down. And that gets you fit, super fit. Also, when you're doing that, your body is going to produce more human growth hormone, testosterone. There's other components of exercise, and sprints are part of that. You could literally, if you're having problems with intimacy, with libido, with circulation, you know what I'm talking about. Look at the type of exercise you're doing. First, look at the foods that you're eating, manage the stress that's in your life. Those two things are directly related with circulation. And then look at exercise to naturally make your body produce testosterone, human growth hormone, painkillers, endorphins, and kephalins, all these amazing feel-good drugs that scientists study and make pharmaceutical drugs out of, we can get naturally through exercise, through food, through relationships, through exercising with people that we love, with being with like-minded people, doing meditation, yoga, all these wonderful things that you probably know about if we just do them consistently. So, so what am I trying to tell you? Here's what I'm trying to tell you. I made a list. If you want to lose weight, increase strength, increase confidence, fit into your clothes. Hey, the basic thing. We all want that. Increase libido, passion, right? They go together. Increase energy, sleep better, control anxiety, have better relationships, love your work, be fulfilled. Those are all of the things that I have personally experienced and I've seen with the people in my life that I love and with my clients improve. They get all of those benefits by eating a certain way, by training their body a certain way. You don't have to call it exercise. You know, I say this all the time. If that's a bad word for you, call it training, call it whatever you want. Directing your thoughts, directing your thoughts, being mindful of where your mind is going, because my mind can go into the gutter so fast, right? Down the rabbit hole. Negativity, I'm talking about. Direct your mind. Surround yourself with like-minded people who are going to support you, who are going to keep you accountable. They're not going to put you down. They're not going to be threatened by your success. Those are the 4 keys. 4 keys: nutrition, exercise, relationships, and what was the other one? I'm missing it now. Direct your thoughts, right? Hey, hello, see? Hello, I got to keep training myself. Those are the 4 things that I consistently focus on, that I share with my audiences, that I share in my posts. if you follow me. I hope you follow me. Um, and that I share with my clients. If this all makes sense to you, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. I just got off the phone with a wonderful woman that I've known, I think, for 20 years. I met her years ago when I used to travel the country working for this one company, and they would send me to like almost every state in the union to speak at the annual conferences of that company. And I met her years ago, and then she was in the audience, and then we worked one on one, and I helped her lose weight and get healthy. And now, 20 years later, she's married, she's having challenges, and all of these health issues are coming up. She's older. She doesn't have to have these health issues come up, diabetes, and personal stuff that I haven't mentioned her name, but I just want to be respectful. All these things that she's experiencing, she doesn't have to. All the research shows that if you do the things that I shared just a few minutes ago, we don't have to have type 2 diabetes. We don't have to have heart disease. We don't have to have elevated cholesterol. We don't have to have Alzheimer's. All of these diseases we're finding are a result, you know, mostly from lifestyle. It's not genetics. It's not congenital stuff, something that you're just born with and that's inevitable. And that includes cancer. And that to me is incredibly encouraging. So reach out to me if I can help you, if I could help the children in your life, if I could speak to your group, to your school, to your office, to your work, to your conference. I would love to connect with you because we do amazing work together. And when we have these tools and resources, then the relationship that you and I have is better because we are our best selves. We're bringing our best selves to the relationship because we've eaten a certain way, we've trained a certain way, we've shared a certain philosophy, we've shared goals and passions and secrets and how we are fulfilled, that we connect even deeper on a more authentic level. And that there's even more health benefits with that, right? Research shows that neurotransmitters are flying around in your brain when you're in a relationship, whether it's intimate or just a friendship, that's authentic because you're connected to another human being. And that's beautiful and that's encouraging. Okay. I hope you find that helpful. I hope you do something today. And if you're going to do anything, and if it's between nutrition and exercise, I hope you make the choice that's going to make the most impact on you. But I really, truthfully, hopefully you do a little bit of all of it because it's all a benefit. And if I can serve you in any way, please never hesitate to reach out. In fact, I really encourage you to do so sooner than later. Until next time, I'm Peter.